Hello everyone, today I'm going to explain the second problem of Leetcode Weekly Contest 304, which is maximum number of groups entering a competition. So we are given an array of grades, and what we have to do is that there are two conditions given. So we have to split the students in in number of groups, and we have to maximize n. And there are two conditions given is that the sum of grades of students ith group is less than the sum of grades of the students of I plus 1 group, and the now total number of students is ith group is less than the total number of students in I plus 1 group. So let me write it. Let's say there is an array 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. So the first group could have one student, the second group could have two students, and the third group could have four students. So the number of students in the first group is strictly less than the number of students in the second group, and the sum of the grades of the students in the first group is also less than the sum of the sum of the students in the sum of the grades of the students in the second group. So let me write it. Sum of I is less than sum of I plus 1. Similarly, count of I is also less than count of I plus 1. These are the two conditions. So this problem is like quite tricky type of problem where you have to do nothing only. So for that you have to first look at the constants. The constant is important here because the grade of I could start from 1. So why the constant is important, let me tell you that. So if the second condition is satisfied and we are sorting the array and we are taking from the first, then the second condition is going to satisfy. Okay, so let me explain it. So let's say we have sorted the array like a1 a2 dot an, and our an could be greater than equals to 1. Okay, so count of I less than count of I plus 1, that means that the minimum sum on the ith group could be count of I because all the elements are count of I, and the minimum sum of the grades of the group I plus 1 could be count of I plus 1. So this is the minimum sum of both ith group and the I plus 1 group. Okay, so as count of I less than count of I plus 1, so we can say sum of I less than sum of I plus 1 in that case. Okay, and as any element in ai any element in ai, let's say the group I has elements from a1 to a4, and the group 2 has element from a5 to a8. So as we are sorting the array, any element on the first group is strictly not strictly is lesser than equals to the elements in the second group. Okay, a5 to 8. So we can say for any condition, if count I less than count of I plus 1 and we are sorting the array in increasing order, then this condition will get satisfied. So after doing this, so first we will try to only select one element from the first group, and for the second group we are selecting two elements, and like that for third group we are selecting three elements, and so on. This problem is quite straightforward. So what we are doing is that first we are selecting one element for the first group, two elements from the second group, three elements from the third group, and so on, and until there are, let's say, k elements and left, and we are at group, let's say, n, and n should obviously be greater than k. Then we will add these k elements in the last group. Okay, so let's say 1 2 3 4 5, and at the end we are at the last group we are just adding 8 students. Okay, so what is happening here, let me explain it. Let's say let me take an example. Let's say the example is there are 18 students. So for the first group I will take one student, for the second group I will take two students, and for the third group I will take three students, for the fourth group I will take four students, for the fifth group I am taking five students. So 5 plus 4 9 12 14 15. So only three students are left, so we'll add three students in the last group. So our group division will be like that: 1 2 3 4 8. So how are we finding the number of groups? So you can take check is that 1 2 3 4 5, the sum of this will be 5 into 6 by 2 n into n plus 1 by 2. So I am only doing a binary search. So while l less than equals to r and our summation value is less than equals to n, we are just incrementing the value of l, and at the end we are returning the answer. So the problem is quite straightforward. We only need the length of the array and nothing else, and we are able to find the solution in order of log n. So I hope you have understood my solution and enjoyed the video. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.